here I am setting up my Thunderbirds model railway layout. Now at the moment I've still got done moving mine over there and Pt3 yard just here and Explode just underneath, and I really want those taken away by the next owner, and that should be happening soon, although I'm enjoying having them here for the last few days. Once they're gone I can start on this layout because I need the room to build it. So I'm just setting it up roughly, getting an idea in my mind by setting up the track plan. I think I'm at the stage now where I've done some drawings, I know a rough idea of what I want, but I now really need to lay the track so I know exactly how much space I've got for everything. Neon was just waiting at an entrance, come on. Yeah, Neon, my cat. Oh, here he is. Gorgeous fella. He always wants to get in on the act, doesn't he? Yeah, yeah. You say hello? Well. So this board here is 2 foot deep and 5 foot wide. It sort of represents the size that this model layout will be in the end. Now I want Thunderbird 1 on this side, displaying its left hand side, because the right hand side has got a little trapdoor here which doesn't look as nice as the left hand side. So I want therefore Thunderbird 1 on this side and Thunderbird 2 on the other side, facing the other way, both of them facing the action, which is here. And the track will be something like this, at this sort of level, and then I have mountains here, and then I'm going to have something that they're rescuing up here, crashing off of the mountain. So the pod vehicle for Thunderbird is going to be a new pod vehicle, something we haven't seen before, and of course a locomotive. And so I'm going to have a piece of track coming out of the pod that will look as though it runs onto this track. It won't actually physically join it, but it looked like it could. And then the locomotives will automatically shuttle, having been deployed by Thunderbird 2, and they'll shuttle along these two tracks doing the rescue. Now what will they look like? Well, I'm going to use some other model kits for that. And these are the kits I'm going to use. They're called galvanic servo haulers or hammer kits. They're quite steampunky and science fiction. Would fit anything really. Now this one appears to have something that could run on train tracks, so I might get another one of these because this model is for Steampunk Spaceport. So I'm going to get some other ones of these, cut that to size, and then fit that. Maybe actually I'll take that off and I'll fit this whole unit onto a locomotive, so the whole thing will run up and down. Quite how that got out of the pod I'm not sure, because it is huge, so they must have put it together until it was outside. I'm going to have to do some explaining, aren't I? It shows. So that will sit on one track, and then one of these, maybe actually these will just be on the ground, deployed on the ground. Yeah, I'm not sure, but the idea is they've also come out of the pod. And perhaps this one, you will ask, why have you got a pod vehicle that's runs on rails? What's the point of that? Why doesn't it just run on tracks like the others? And I think in this case it's for particular rescues where the best access is due to the position of the track. So maybe what I have is these two vehicles cannot physically get any nearer because there'll be obstructions here, perhaps rocks and things, and so this vehicle can get nearer because it can go on the track, and it'll be the only one that can actually reach the thing that's being rescued, which at the moment is going to be a train that's been crashing off of a bridge that's been hit by an aircraft. Okay, that's for another time. So this, I think, I'll modify and have the grabs pointing up, and this whole unit will run on a locomotive up and down, up towards the train as if it's going to grab it. Yeah. I may have another lane of track here and things running up and down there as well, I'm not sure yet. So a couple of mountains here, one that side, with some bridge, a bridge affair here, and a locomotive crashed off it. It's going to be a monorail type of train. All of this is yet to be developed. The aircraft though is going to be Red Arrow. Now Red Arrow featured in Edge of Impact, the Thunderbirds series called Edge of Impact, and Red Arrow 1 and 2 crashed. And I have got Red Arrow 3 just here. When I moved house it got damaged in transit, so that's what engines have fallen off. You've got to imagine 2 silver engines under there, Hustler engines, and a couple up here. This is a converted Saab Draken, but Red Arrow 3 looks just like Red Arrow 1 and 2 in Edge of Impact, so if you see that episode you'll recognise this plane. So Red Arrow 3 isn't going to have a much more spectacular lifestyle. It's going to have crashed into the mountainside and caused the bridge to collapse, and therefore the train will be hanging off of the smashed bridge. All very dramatic. There will be buttons and controls on this layout so people can operate things, and they'll have some effects that are going on all the time. So this is the rough idea. Thunderbird 1, oh there's Neil. Thunderbird 1 on a mountain side, higher up, observing the action. Thunderbird 2 lower down, deploying all the rescue vehicles. Red Arrow 3 will be crashed into the mountain side. And what you've got to imagine here is a slightly higher cushion that represents the same sort of height of mountain here on this side, and then a double bridge over here that's smashed and almost half fallen down, and a train hanging off it, a monorail train I think. This vehicle is rescuing a Thunderbird pod vehicle that we haven't seen. Thunderbirds are go!